talking to Rod actually in about 10 minutes here about Julius Peppers and some other things. There's always a thread that connects the past with the present, and Matt Eberflus is part of that as well. What are your impressions of him? He did spend some time in Indianapolis. I'm sure you were aware of what he did there as a head coach. First 2 years, I think the arrow is pointing up. He's back for year 3. A lot of expectations in Chicago.
I think they're going to be very, very good, and I know Matt really well. We actually do a couple of events together every year. We're part of a Christian coaches phone call every 2 weeks, and he's awesome. But the thing that he has done, I think, is put his stamp on this is how we're going to do things. And we're going to build and we're going to grow. We're going to grow through the draft. We're going to develop people. And we're going to hustle and hit. And it's not going to be any blueprint of this wild stuff that nobody else knows. No, we're going to just be sound. Fundamentally, we're going to outwork people. And I love it. And I think now the talent they're putting together on offense, to go with that defense, I think they're going to be very, very tough this year.
We know it's all kind of interconnected, and, as we talk about a rookie quarterback coming in, all we talk about is all the weaponry and look at this, look at that. I think the expectation level can get out of control sometimes. And I've been saying to David, wouldn't it be great if they march down the field, if they can get a first down, if they can actually play a field position game and have that defense. It's hard sometimes to make sure that you're complementing the offense, complementing the defense, getting help on special teams. It's also interconnected.
Yeah, and you want to play winning football. That's the key, and play to your strengths. I got to Tampa. We had these great defensive players. We talked about, hey, we're going to draft a couple of running backs, and we're going to play power football and win low-scoring games. And people thought that was my M.O. Well, I get to Indy, and we've got explosive offense. So we're going to draft some pass rushers, learn how to get after the passer and protect leads and play high-scoring games and win them. And so that's what it's all about, winning football. That's what they have to develop with Caleb Williams, put that system around him, let him grow, and they're going to be great.
Do you see greatness in Caleb Williams?
I haven't seen enough yet, but people I respect who have watched and said this guy has it, and that's what it's all about. It's poise and dominance in those big-time situations. I don't think people would have said, I see greatness in Tom Brady in his first 3 weeks on the job. But he had those things, and that's what you're looking for. That's what I want to find out. Does Caleb Williams, he's got talent, he's got arm strength, he's got accuracy, athleticism. Does he have that it that you need in those big moments? That's what we're going to have to see.
When you look at explosive offenses, do you think to yourself, this is how I would stop that? How do you even watch it? I think that, for instance, Kansas City, Mahomes, they are a very difficult team right now, and they're dominating and kind of heading to their own dynasty. When you watch a game, when you watch the Super Bowl, are the gears grinding, and are you thinking, we got to do this? Why don't they put that guy there?
No, absolutely. I've gone against Andy Reid a lot in the past, and so you kind of know the system and how Andy does things and how he thinks and the way he designs, and that's toughen up. And so you think, hey, this is how I deal with that. They need to play this coverage. But then when everything is defensed perfectly, that's when he starts to create, and he's his best, and that's what's difficult. It reminds me of John Elway when we used to go against John. You have the perfect defense, you have the play stop, he scrambles and makes a 70-yard play, and you just have to say, there's nothing I can do about that.
How much do you miss coaching this time of year?
This time of year, it is. It's fun. The training camps and seeing the reports of teams getting put together, who's doing well, what young guys are coming on. Yeah, this is the time that I always enjoyed, putting that team together.
So great to talk to you, Tony. Really appreciate it. I know you're going to have a ton of fun. I know that the Dwight Freeney story is very big on your mind. I mean, another guy who was considered undersized. People looked at some of the negatives.
We got a D on our first draft.
Did you really? Oh, God. And the guy's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. He was a tweener who couldn't do it.
11th pick on a 6'1" defensive lineman. How could you do that? And you guys are crazy. Well, it turned out okay.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Tony.
Guys.
That is the great Tony Dungy. You're listening to Mully and Haugh, Chicago Sports Radio, 6-7 of the Score.